we're at 7:02. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a quorum. So we'll get going. First item on the agenda is acceptance of secretary's report. Is there a motion to accept? I move we accept it.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Nope.
Okay. Excellent minutes as usual. We'll vote on the motion to accept. Amy?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Jackie?
Yes. Oh, did you say it?
I said Jackie, but
Okay.
we'll take Dan's yes. Jackie, I didn't catch.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. And I'm a yes. That is unanimous. Moving on to acceptance of monthly staff reports. Is there a motion to accept?
So
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
So Amy to Laura. Okay, very good. And discussion.
Catherine, the note about, forget it. I answered my own question about the 50K payroll. Sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't see it on here, but there was a Zoom talk with an author, R.F. Kwong. I wanted to go, but I wasn't able. Was that well attended? Do you know?
I'm not sure specifically, but you can go back and watch it. You always can.
There was a, Jackie, this was in your section about KI showroom in Boston. What is KI?
So that's the, they make wiggle room pods.
I think I might stand for interiors.
I don't know what it stands for.
It's a,
Yeah.
It's just the name of the company.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a company name, okay.
Yeah, it's a company and we've purchased them before. It's high-end office furniture.
What are wiggle rooms? Is that?
They're like pods,
Okay.
like Zoom
All right.
things, so we're
Placed in
moving-
order. We're moving on
We're
the
doing it.
phone.
Oh, you made a selection? Okay. Not the coffins.
Not the coffins, they're actually really, that's why I went to the showroom in the Seaport and like stood in one and they're very nice, they're not coffin like.
What's the timeline on this?
I think I said 4 to 6 weeks.
1 to 6 or 6 to 8, so I
Some,
think it's 1 to 6.
probably close to the end of the summer.
And they were on state contract.
Yeah.
And had contract, yeah.
Okay, anything else? No? Okay. Hearing nothing else, we will take a vote on the motion to accept the monthly staff reports. Amy?
Yes.
Laura?
Yes.
Jackie?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, it passes unanimously. Public participation, I will count 1, 2, 3 and see that there is no one hiding on Zoom this week. We'll move right along to correspondence. I didn't see anything in the packet.
No, I don't think there was anything.
Okay. Moving right along to committee reports, budget.
There is no operating budget in the packet, and I didn't do one today because it is constant moving parts. We are down to the last wire, and I am gonna spend every penny.
Okay.
I'm gonna figure out how to do it. I know I have the needs, I know I have
Right.
things to purchase. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. I don't wanna spend money on something and then discover we actually have outstanding items. We still have a lot of books outstanding and a few other things, possibly the phones. There's just a lot of balls in the air right now. But if all goes according to plan, it will be spent down to zero with the exception of personal services, which in the report, we had $50,000 left over. So that's,
This has to be spent by the 30th
yes.
June?
So
Yeah.
something like books, you've got a fair amount of money to give funds for that. If we were to go over, would it be possible if you could switch the payment method before receipt?
We don't really have to, because typically what we do at the end of the year, if the invoice is dated prior to June 30th, you have to pay it on the prior fiscal year.
Mhm.
But you can avoid that if we use state aid or gift money. That crosses fiscal years, so whatever will be left, and we minimize it so that but there's always a small amount.
Absolutely.
But what that does is it lets us continue to purchase, especially because it's summer. We don't have to tell everybody to stop. But we have stuff that when did you say it was ordered in May and it hasn't come yet?
Everything was ordered by May 31st, and
And we still have things outstanding.
it's $2,000.
Yeah, no, for exactly that point, you wanna spend as much as you can.
Right.
Especially on that side where there's always a need. I mean, not making up stuff to buy.
Right.
Or sitting on huge
Right.
stairs.
Well,
or whatever.
materials and supplies is easy because we can, in a minute, buy overdrive. So, buy overdrive materials, and we always need those. So if there's only $100 left, and the $100 goes right to overdrive.
That's really great, that there's you have multiple safety valves.
Yeah.
What's overdrive?
Overdrive are ebooks.
Oh.
It's the platform that, it's like a marketplace, and it's ebooks. So those are in high demand, and they're very expensive. So we don't buy as many as maybe we would like to, so if we have leftover money, that's a quick, easy way to do that. We're more likely to have leftover contractual services money, because that's where the utilities are. And you don't know what those utilities are gonna be, so if there's, but I also have a lot of needs that are contractual. So if I can manage to plan those needs and know how much I'm gonna have left, I can try to hit that zero.
Lots of fun.
It is.
Catherine, will you send us a copy of, like, at some point, once the fiscal year ends, do we get a copy of that?
Yes, the exact numbers when they go all down to zero, yeah. And you'll know what was spent where, because that's always interesting too. Overexpending one line and underexpending another.
Thank you.
So I think that's all for budget.
Building and grounds, we have one item that we're gonna discuss under new business, but beyond that, anything to be aware of? It seemed like there was some small, you made it sound like routine maintenance here and there.
A lot of routine maintenance these days.
Yeah,
There's also a piece of plaster that's coming down on the ceiling in the old building. So that's a little worrisome. The paint peeled, and when we looked at it, you can see that the plaster's crumbled. There's HVAC up there, and I think it's wet.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
okay,
Yeah.
that'll be
Yeah, we have
another thing to,
all these little things.
is that something that
And,
we're the town for? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. And the fun thing we're thinking about doing is changing all of the plumbing to automatic. The restroom on this floor, furthest against the wall, has automatic flush and automatic water. And so we thought we'd try it and see if that works better or whatever, and we all like it a lot. And we came up with that initially because it appears that people flush with their feet,
Mhm.
and it damages the plumbing, and we've had it fixed 3 times, we kept getting leaks. So now no one will kick it because they won't have to touch it. Plus it's nice and new, so we'll refresh those rooms a little bit.
And there was one restroom with a automatic door that can only be automatic.
Which restroom is this?
Behind reference.
reference.
Oh,
So there's 2 next to reference, there's one on the left and one on the right. The one on the right now has a handicap door, so it will open automatically. But it doesn't latch, so you don't have to use the handle to open it, you can just push it open, or you can press the button and it will open on its own. But when you get in, you have to lock it, which you have to lock them all anyway. But in this case, if you don't lock this one, it's not, you won't hear the handle first, somebody will push it and open the door. So,
Or push the button and it will just slowly.
yeah,
So,
see, and it won't if you want.
For
it.
dramatic effect.
Because it won't, locking engages the thing that says
Right,
it's occupied, so.
yeah.
So is there a sign in there to remind the user?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there
Did
is.
they put it in now? Yeah,
Good.
yeah. Well, you say good, but
Have to cover everything.
yeah, nobody really reads signs, but we will hope, we'll see what happens. At least if you have trouble opening the door, you won't anymore.
Anything else building and grounds?
I don't think so.
Friends.
There was not a trustee, but I was there. They elected some people, I think. I was late because we were at the chamber dinner. They talked about the book sale, I think they made about $14,000-ish.
That sounds right.
Is that right?
Can you say that again, Jackie? The
Oh,
amount-
sorry, they made about 14,000 at the book
14.
sale.
Okay, thank you.
And so this was their annual meeting, so they elected a new slate, but it's mostly the same people. There were some people they had added, kind of midterm, and they officially voted them in. I think they really had much else.
I don't remember anything else. Yet it was a full agenda, but they're busy.
They're
but
gonna work
it's
on
not-
their strategic plan over the summer, I think, because they kept not getting to it at the end of every meeting.
Gift funds.
I think I won't get one, I just did. No, I do a quarterly report, I was just thinking about that, but
One of the gift funds, the income is up over 6 figures now. It's, I forget which one, it's the last one on the list, I can never remember the name.
oh, Elizabeth Buckham?
Yes,
Yeah. That's restricted to particular kinds of books.
Particular kinds of books, not
Yes,
just books.
history, literature, social sciences, and there's even more definition than that. It's like I think literature, maybe Western literature. I don't know, I would have to look
Western
back.
like cowboys or like
No,
Greek and Roman, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She was an English teacher at the high school
Okay.
for many years. And yeah, and she was friendly with the assistant director here at the time. So she left, I believe she left her house. Yeah, she left her house to the library. Yeah.
So the big bump up in income is just appreciation of that property, of the,
No, the house was sold, and so the opening principal is the sale price of the house.
Mhm.
And then this is invested,
okay,
so
so
it's,
it's
yeah, it's
some good luck.
some,
good
yeah,
investment.
some good investments. We've had years when it hasn't done so well, but it's popped back.
Yeah, good investments and patience, right? You don't dip into it. It's fancy.
And all the purchasing.
The total prior income column, I don't
Mhm.
know if anybody's looking
Yeah.
at it, yeah. Is that the 2023 fiscal year, or is that, what is that? What is
I
that?
believe that's cumulative.
Cumulative?
Yes, it's not just that, it's not, it's since its
Oh.
since its inception.
Okay, so,
Cumulative as of last month, though?
What?
The previous is taken from the previous month or the previous, must be the previous month, right?
yeah, monthly income must be, say, May.
That monthly income is what it earned in May.
May.
The total prior income is what's being carried forward of all the income that it's earned.
Since 2007.
Right, since
Yeah.
since its inception date. So the reason those columns are separate like that is that for most of these, we're only allowed to spend income.
Sure. That makes sense.
So the prior income, this month's income, and the total is what we have to be able to expend. And it looks like a lot of money, but there was a year when we didn't have a lot of, the town was hurting and we used that to, stay certified.
Oh.
So in some ways you wanna save it for a rainy day, and in other ways you might wanna, if you see it really building, you know, you don't wanna save it, you don't wanna save for the future at the expense of today.
Yeah.
But I also like the idea of having something to fall back on.
When do we see First Financial Trust again?
Whenever you want. I forget when we did it last, we're off schedule though, we saw them in it was a January and then it was a May, and then I maybe because there were new people or something. So it was within a 6-month period, and now it's been maybe over a year.
Okay. We could get
So
to
we
that
should
in the
do
fall.
that.
Yeah, that would be good. I was just thinking about trying to plot out what the total income in any given month has looked like over the last several years. Decided I'm lazy and I'd rather have them do that for us, so if that's the kind of information that they can provide, I'd be interested to see that. Just to give us a sense of, you talk about, if it gets too high, what is too high, where the mean in these cases. Is $100,000 in income a lot for the open fund, or is it kind of part of the course? I'd like to hear that from
Right,
FFT,
right. And what are the pros and cons of spending it?
Right, yeah, I wouldn't wanna spend it just to spend it, right, so that
Right.
you context based on what are the ideas to spend it, but
That's so specific. I don't think we could spend that much on those types of books if our lives depended on it.
No, it would be a few years.
It would be
Yeah.
quite a number of years, I think.
Yeah.
Can gift funds be shared or turned around and gifted in any way? Like if you were working with, say, the high school Latin department or somebody who might be interested in reading Roman, you can't, like it'd have to be a library possession, right? You couldn't help them to purchase
There would have to be
something
some,
that specific.
there would have to be some connection to the library. So say you wanted to do a library collection at the high school. I don't know, we'd have to, that's almost, I don't even know if that's a Tom Mullen question or someone at the state. Because there are regulations about how this is invested and spent.
Right.
Um,
I'm just thinking like
Because
who
they're
would want that many like Greek and Roman literature stories?
I mean, we could always, we could certainly buy some, but I mean, that's a tremendous amount of money, that's half our book budget right there.
Right.
Right, but there's other things in that, so it's not just, what's
Right.
listed there is actually more. So I can find out exactly what that is, maybe I'll do that for next time.
Does the high school still have one?
Yes,
They do?
Yeah.
So.
she's very active, and the kids, we did a survey, and the kids say that that's where they tend to do their homework there rather than here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So maybe if there was any sort of interlibrary loan system between here and there, that might be a way
Right.
to test things about.
I was in touch with her, and she mentioned some things that she thought we could add to the collection. For programs that are coming up that they don't have, that it would be good for us to have. And she gave me real good details about, reading level and all of that, so, yeah, we try to support.
that's great. Okay, anything else on gift funds? Move on. Legislative advocacy, I have fallen down on the job in terms of legislative advocacy. Not sure where we are in terms of reconciliation of the House and Senate bills, if we're through that.
Yeah, there was
At this
something
point.
about it today in the paper, I think they're just in the process of it. I don't have it here in front of me now anymore, I thought I did. But no matter which one, there's one that's better than the other, but not by much. The libraries are in pretty good shape. there is that ebook bill that that's gonna be working on next. Ruth
Yep.
Balzer is working on an ebook.
Yeah. If we had some certainty about not even cost so much as ownership rights to purchasing, I'd be more inclined to put that up as a suggestion for what to do with some of our gift fund money, but I want to basically rent a book for 2 years.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. Personnel?
If there's anything on personnel either, I think we're good with that.
A page, step one, is that like part of the normal process?
They typically end their terms at the end of August. She got a different job at a camp for the summer, so she stepped away early. She had graduated though, so she would have been leaving us either way. Very good page.
Okay, any go backs on the committee reports? Move on to new business, the strategic plan.
So I gave you the strategic plan last month. Jackie made it beautiful, so it matches the website, so when it's on the website, it looks like it's part of everything.
This is a very impressive looking document.
It's nice looking.
Yes.
And it's easier to read because there's less here than they have been in prior years. That seems to be the trend that the consultants said, you know, they know where you are. They know all your details. It's the details that are important that you wanna add. Laura had requested the addition of a word, and I don't even remember what it was now, but I put that word in because it clarified something. And that was it, and then we didn't change anything else. And the plan itself is on those 2 penultimate pages, which is nice that it fits on the 2 pages. And I'm kind of looking forward to it, to a fresh start, and it's fairly broad, so that it's both direct and broad, so we know what we need to do, but we'll have lots of opportunities to reach that. The department heads have already had a meeting about it, and we'll be planning action plan items. And those are due in December, by December 1st. So those will probably come to you in September or October, the action plan.
The strategic plan is 5 years, the action plans are 1 year.
Yes. And you have to do it so far in advance that it's, you know, you're trying to figure out what's gonna happen then. But you can always tweak it. So you just want a general direction. So we just need a vote to approve that, and then it goes to, yeah.
I thought we approved that last time.
Yeah, I know. I don't think did they? Oh, okay. Was that in the minutes? I'm pretty sure you did though.
I remember, yeah, because I remember asking the question whether we needed like the final,
Oh, no, you did. Rogers made the motion.
Yep.
Barrett seconded. All right, I'm sorry. Good, we're good to go. That's fine then.
yeah, so we'll deliver that this summer well ahead of our deadline.
Well ahead. That will go tomorrow to the state.
Very
They're
good.
so happy.
Okay, anything else on the strategic plan then?
No.
Anybody else, any comments, questions, concerns?
Looks great.
Digital sign.
Okay. I don't know if anybody looked through all of this.
Yes.
Most of it, yeah.
Yeah, this is a project. So I'm gonna start by saying that I'm not gonna support that we do this project. I think this is a trustee decision, but I would lean against it. And the reason is, I was trying to figure out, how did we ever get into this? Why is it that we wanted this? This was not our original idea. This was a trustee idea. And it was years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. So here, I wrote down a couple of things. The building has increasing needs. The plaster's falling, HVAC, plumbing, masonry, carpets, those are the big ones. The lifespan on the digital screen is 5 to 7 years.
That was what I was.
So that's gonna last about the same amount of time as the strategic plan. And you probably wouldn't want it more than 5 to 7 years anyway, because the technology will change and there'll be something better. Like everything in this building, the potential for problems or to hit a snag is definitely has to be considered. Everything we do is, you're trying to find the wiring, you don't know where, you have a plan and it's not marked, and that can be a thing. So it may not be that easy and it may cost a little more. The cost of the additional services aren't in here, because that includes masonry work and carpentry work and all of that. And then we talked about the benefit. And we were talking about the benefit around a time that I realized I put a lot of money into fixing the signage in the building, and I don't think a single person noticed. I don't think anybody looks at signs. They stand under them and ask you where things are. We had a sign that pointed downstairs to large print, and large print was way over here. And nobody ever noticed. Nobody said your sign, nobody notices. They ask more than they'll look. They'll ask where reference is, and there's the big sign there. Or where's, sometimes, where's the restroom? And you point to this and say, oh yeah, there's a sign. So because people don't look at signs, the other thing is that a lot of people go by this building to go to the post office, and the post office is not what it used to be. So I don't know about walkers. The people who are driving should not be looking at a sign when they're driving by that area is very dangerous. Right at Avon Street is really dangerous. Anybody that comes out of Avon onto Main and wants to take a left, that happens from time to time. That's a tricky spot. So an alternative would be, for short money, is to fix it up, get a mason to repair it, replace the glass in the front, and then have signs printed, maybe quarterly, even monthly, wouldn't make a dent in what this is gonna cost to do this otherwise. And we could see how that signage played over time. And then we could always revisit this. But I just have the sense it's not a good time to do it. And it's not a lot of money, but it is for what it is. It's a lot, I think we're gonna get the 2 pods for much less than this project. And that's installed. That includes everything.
And that's a real need too, that we.
And that's a real need. So.
I'm relieved.
You're relieved?
Yeah. I've read through this. It does present some other problems as well. And so, how do we move on this? We just,
I think if we want it to go away, we just don't make a motion.
I can make a motion.
We don't even need to, I
Oh,
don't think.
no.
We just say thank you, director, and
And we'll
move on.
table it.
Yeah, does anyone else, I have a couple thoughts, but I'm gonna give other people a chance to jump in.
I agree. The first few months, I didn't even know where that sign was that we kept talking about. I finally found it. And I'm a frequent library user. I'm there all the time with my kids. So yeah, I agree.
I was struck by the price. I don't know what I expected, but when I saw that number, I was like, oh, this is a lot. I don't think the return is gonna be on there. We're not gonna triple attendance at events or anything because of that. So I really appreciate your rationale, Catherine, for why this, and I do, like, I remember having this conversation in my first trustee meeting in like October of 2019. I think it was a different time when we were talking about it too.
Yeah.
I agree. I was shocked at the number and then realized it also didn't include the trades. I think that's an insane amount to spend on a TV screen, but I don't even really love the look of them personally. I don't think it goes with the overall library aesthetic. So I would rather see something non-electronic for far less money.
Yeah.
I like it if you change it out once a month. I mean, you know, get something going with the signs or the T-stop and
We were doing
there's
it
something
during,
on Canva and.
Yeah,
we were doing it during COVID, we
Yeah.
had a couple cents made, and that one we weren't even doing, I mean, I'm not saying we didn't do a good job, but like, we could really, it's not much money, these could be made to fit better,
because
to
we
replace that
didn't
plexiglass.
fill the
We didn't
glass, we
Well,
just,
we could do it.
you know, we just picked a standard size.
Yeah.
And we knew that it would go in there, but we could actually put a frame there and fill the screen.
I would love to look at spending the money on, you know, fixing, updating, cleaning up the masonry, maybe updating the lighting if it needs, you know, the lighting or just nicer looking lighting, updating the glass, whatever thing, and everything else. And just, yeah, invest a lot less to clean it up.
It does attract attention, it's prominent, people look at it as it is now. So whatever it's, you know, whatever the content is, gets paid attention to, but this does seem to be extreme. The thing that stood out to me is that they mentioned that there's no hardwire, contact with the screen, so it's a Wi-Fi
Yeah,
connection, I could just get on a cranks. Could get pulled.
That was one of the first concerns I had about it, was what kind of security would we have associated with it. So,
oh yeah, that would be one more
I'm
thing.
sorry,
what kind of security do we have to have associated with it?
There would presumably be an ongoing cost for the software too.
Yeah,
yeah.
and there's also the maintenance contract was like for the,
After you read it.
yeah, $3,900 a year for a 4-visit service contract. And, you know, that's the kind of thing that I'd be afraid to do it without a service contract, because it would just be, you'd have a dead screen, what are you gonna do with that? And I'm sure Dave would try to fix it, but, you know,
Just for comparison's sake of two big technology projects, what did we spend on the program room? Redoing all the audiovisual during COVID and.
Oh, the lecture hall?
Yeah, the lecture, sorry.
20-ish?
hard to remember now.
I took less than yes.
And I went,
We're very close,
I went big on that project too,
Yeah.
because I even got a new screen.
I
They
think,
showed me the difference between the old screen and what a new screen would do. So, yeah, we got
I think it was
everything.
between 20 and 25, it was probably in this,
I think
very in
that's-
this neighborhood.
I guess my thought is I can't see spending more on a electric sign outside than what we spent on that whole room that gets a ton of use. And,
Right,
yeah.
Yeah, so I agree that the cost is too high, you know, if you said that it was gonna last 30 years, maybe think about it, but you know, it's gonna be dead before my daughter graduates from college, and that's not gonna work for me. I do wanna say that I understand where you're coming from, but I disagree philosophically about the outside sign versus the inside signs. I think an outside sign advertising what's happening draws more attention than an inside sign telling you where to find something.
yes, I agree.
So I wanna say that
It's
there's
not
value
the
in
exact
doing
same,
something
yeah,
with that sign out there.
as opposed to leaving it empty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's worth spending some money to bring it up to date is not the right word, but to fix it up. I also like the idea of the monthly signs, because it addresses some of the, how to let people know stuff is going on, aspect that we've been talking about the last few months, so. I'm comfortable moving forward with that. I even if we had loved it, I was not gonna want to wait on the vote, just to let everyone think about it, and also because we barely scraped together a quorum.
I know.
All due respect to the folks who actually turned out today, a big thing like that, I want as much of the board to weigh in on it.
Yeah.
Having said that, I'll probably wanna open it up to folks again in the fall, just to let everybody have their say on it. And we'll go from there, but yeah, I think we're in general agreement. Do we need now to go out and get a quote about fixing up the masonry on the existing sign, replacing the glass, the lighting, whatever?
I will get those quotes, those are gonna be standard building things, that's not gonna be difficult. So we should be able to accommodate that easily. But I can bring that information back about what we'll do, especially if there's decisions to make.
Very good.
We typically go to multiple people
Yeah.
who have different skill sets and ask their advice about things. What would they do? How would they do it?
We have a masonry company doing the front steps, right?
Yes,
So would it be worth maybe reaching out to them and seeing if it's something that they could tie in and do at the same time? Like while they were
I would
out
do it as
there?
I would do it as a separate project only because that's capital and it also has a grant.
Okay.
And it also has, I don't know what the whole, I don't know how that's all working.
I mean, pay for it
I'm
separately,
doing with that
but
with DPW. We've used that, Mason before, he's done a lot of work for us. So I would just do it as a separate project.
I'm sure if they could do it at the same time, just while we already have the front all blocked off, they're already here and move their equipment, even if it's paid separately and categorized as a separate project. Just time.
See how they wanna do it, cause it's their people too, different people have different skills or whatever. Yeah, but I'll keep that in mind, that might be a way to do it all at once as opposed to. They're on the lawn, well, yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Alright, alright, so we're gonna table that, and, thank you for pulling on that. We gotta finally getting someone to commit to a number after, I believe chair at the time was Kevin Scanlon, just to date the request. So, okay, thank you again. All right, so the last item on the new business is collection development policy. I saw you sent 2 policies and a procedure, is that right?
Yes, you probably didn't need the procedure, but it was all together. So just a reminder that last year we voted to review this every year, just review it annually.
Yeah.
Because technically, the Board of Library Trustees is responsible for the collection. Does it say that? And part 3, responsibility for collection development. The board considers and adopts a policy, which they authorize the director to administer, and the director designates staff. Jackie does the budgeting with the rest of the staff, and we all collect different parts of it. So the only thing that we changed here was in part 5, the scope of the collection. Under children and young adults, there was a paragraph that really went into age groups. And you don't, like, ages matter, but that's not the only part of it. So children's literature is so complicated that we wanted something a little broader to understand what it is that they're collecting, not necessarily, because it changes over time how they're collecting. There may be Lexile ratings, there may be, but that changes with how they're teaching reading or what's available at any given time. Within 10 years, what's available even changes. So we're focusing on the fact that the collections focus on highly recommended picture books, popular reading, and the information needs of school-age children. The collection emphasizes materials that develop reading ability, inform about the world, address interests and issues, stimulate the imagination, and entertain. I tried to cover all the bases there, because there are lots of different reasons So it's not just schoolwork, it's not just entertainment, it's running the gamut, but we took out the age-related part. It's just children and young adults. The only other change was, in that second policy, it makes reference to audio tapes, and I just took tapes out.
So that one we will be submitting to find you. We rewrote that as part of the grant with the consultant.
Oh, it has been rewritten.
It has been rewritten, we just haven't, we kind of walked away from it because Alyssa left, but we had it already, we had done it with the consultants. So we can,
So this one isn't it.
not at the moment, but I mean, you have to see it too, so we'll, I mean,
So
it'll come,
we'll bring it back in September.
we'll bring it back in September.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but for now, the one that Charlotte Thompson wrote in whatever year she wrote that, which has kept us in good stead.
It's not vastly different what we did, I think we did made some similar changes in that we didn't list specific formats in the same way. But I'll have those changes for you and then for the board.
Okay.
All right, discussion on the proposed updates. Okay. Hearing none, is there a motion to accept the amended collection development policies?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, unless there's further discussion, we will take a vote on that motion. Amy,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
And I'm a yes, that passes unanimously. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. Items not reasonably anticipated by the chair.
Was there anything?
Do you have any updates from, oh, sorry, are you looking, members, are you looking for unexpected update? Blossoms, I know we talked a little bit about it at the last meeting, but we said we would have some numbers at this meeting. I know that Chris and Susan aren't here. I'm just curious.
Yeah, Susan sent me an email when she said she couldn't make this meeting, she has to work tonight. She thinks that everything will be settled within the next month, all the payments will be made and everything. And the benefit to the library is similar to what has been in prior years, about $20,000. And we have to do some thank you notes, we'll have to get the thank yous out. So that's that. We've left some of the decorations up and people love them. So the lanterns that are in the reference area, did you see those? Yeah,
Yeah, those look nice.
they're fun.
That's great.
It's very summery.
Okay, anything else?
Staff badges, how they work out?
Great, everyone seems to be fine with wearing them,
Yeah.
some people have put them on lanyards, I like the magnet, people took to them right away.
Yeah. And nobody's lost them yet either.
Not that I've heard.
No, they haven't, and somebody immediately put a note on the door, on the exit door,
We have.
don't forget your badge. It says on your way up, cause
I walk out with mine, yeah.
Yeah.
Patrons notice it all or something?
Not that I know
I
of.
don't know.
Like they wouldn't necessarily say anything to me, but
So we're gonna have to read signs.
no.
I know.
Some people added their names, some people preferred to have their names, so Erin has hers underneath like a little piece of tape.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Cause I would make one, would have one made that way if she lost her name on it. I think it's on the back of mine, so I know who I am.
You can look down and remember.
You and I are the only ones that use this logo though. The most of the staff, there was a choice, we have two versions of our logo, one is like the hive and it's a little like lighter, this is very like formal and they all took the good stuff.
Yeah.
So we got stuff with the block.
Is it something you could easily order more of, or did you have to order like a minimum or?
There wasn't a minimum, but when you order more, the price is less, which is why I ordered two different kinds.
Oh.
So I have a few left, not too many, but not exactly double, but if I had to order them again, I could. They're not cheap, so that
Right.
you wouldn't wanna be doing it every year. But
But you could personalize them if somebody wanted it.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, I would do that. I wanted to do it quickly, and I thought rather than try to get people talking about it and do you want a name and how do you wanna do it, I just thought, I'll just do it and we'll work from there. So if people decide they do want names, we can do that. But right now, we all know we're staff.
You don't wanna give people an opportunity to set up factions over which way to go. Here it is. You don't like it, blame me, that's fine.
Cause it's gonna be split right down the middle.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Except the choice wasn't.
No, it
Which
wasn't.
really, so I'm glad I didn't, try to call that one, cause I would have been totally wrong.
Okay, anything else? All right,
That's it.
if there's nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we'll vote on that motion to adjourn. Amy,
Yes.
Laura,
Yes.
Jackie,
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
I'm a yes, that passes unanimously. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a great summer.